We are back on The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. This is Cynthia Becker with attorney Vincent Davis. And our next caller is Amber from Missouri. Amber, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
It sounds like you have a story to tell us.
Oh my gosh, do I have a story to tell you? Okay. I actually took some notes this time, so I was actually ready. So whenever I talk to you, that I could get more information out.
I love notes.
Good. Yeah, I'm so scatterbrained. I have ADD, so I'm everywhere all the time. So this case I'm going through has got me so worked down. I'm so floored, you know.
Well, go ahead and tell us your story.
Okay, well, I don't know how we started it last time with everything. This case that I'm going through now goes back into past cases that I went through with this judge and with, I guess, just Pulaski County in general with CPS and everybody. So maybe I'll just start there. With the past case, with it all paraphrased, CPS lied under oath that I was not able to follow directions within a time limit that they had given me to, quote-unquote, clean my house. My house was not in disarray. It was not at all dirty. I had toys alongside the whole house. I mean, I spoiled my kids with toys, and that was it. They weren't even piled up. They were neatly against the wall. Throughout the case, the judge was yelling and screaming, cussing at me and my husband, throwing throughout the whole entire case. At one point, he even ripped evidence out of my hand, causing a massive gash in my hand. Blood was dripping off my elbow even.
Are you saying the judge did this?
The judge himself, yeah.
Vince, when you hear all of the things that this judge did in this case, it's going to blow your mind.
Did you file a complaint with anyone?
I didn't know how to do anything. I had a legal representative at the time, and I'll get into that. He did absolutely nothing for me. He let all this happen. He's like, well, you shouldn't take off the judge. I told you to be quiet, stuff like that. So the judge proceeded to crumble up. Mind you, I lived on Fort Leonard at the time. Anybody that trespassed on Fort Leonard had to be escorted by an MP, which is military police is what that stands for. It was so that deems my paper, quote unquote, my evidence, federal notarized documentation that he threw away. I asked him during this, why can I not have my children back? I proved that she was lying. His statement to me was, because I effing said so. So there's some key facts. There's the judge, the DFS workers. The DFS workers went to high school with the paternal father of my second oldest. The judge, the guardian ad litem, and some cop guy that handles CPS workers. I don't know what they're called, but he had a badge. They all worked with the paternal grandmother of my second oldest, who used to work in DFS for over 20 years around here. Beauty of a small town, right? So we're going to fast forward a while. Throughout the case, DFS refused me visitations with my children, canceling and rescheduling till it lasted over between 3 to 6 months that I have not seen or talked to my children. During visitation, the supervised visitations, my kids were ripped out of my hands and shoved and pushed violently out of the room, saying that we was talking about the case when we was not. My children are special needs.
Amber, stop for a second. Do you have a pen and a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. Number one, I want you to talk to your attorney, of course. But I want you and your attorney to consider filing a complaint with the Department of Health and Human Services and filing a complaint with the Justice Department, the Civil Rights Division. Also, I'm sure in your state there must be some state organization that oversees judges. Now, I'm going to take what you said as true, Amber. I mean, in 32 years, I've never seen a judge act or do things of that nature. Okay, but if you're telling me the truth, I want you to go talk to your attorney and talk about filing a complaint regarding that judge.
Oh, he's not going to do that, sir.
No, I'm talking about you filing the complaint. You can do whatever you want.
I would have handled this a long time ago if I could find a legal representative to actually represent me in this case. Sure, my husband's dead now.
Yes, and the social worker laughed in her face.
Okay, so, you got to talk to your attorney and make a decision on what you want to do. I'm telling you, you should probably file a complaint with the Department of Health and Human Services because they oversee all social workers in the United States because they are the source of the money for CPS throughout the United States. And, I've read some opinions about some cases that they have investigated, and they take these complaints seriously. If a federal investigation starts by DHHS, believe me, the social workers and their supervisors in your county will take note.
Okay.
And the same thing for the complaint to the United States Justice Department Civil Rights Division. I mean, if what you're telling me is true, that your rights have been violated severely and substantially. And if you're not going to get any redress in your county through your state court action, your juvenile action, you need to go to the federal authorities. And you need to have them investigate it.
I'm already trying with the Child Advocate Review.
Okay, I didn't mention that. I didn't say that. So why are you doing that?
Well, I was doing that before I found you.
Okay, so I told you two things.
Yeah.
They're both federal.
Okay.
Okay, Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS, and the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. That's what I think you should talk to your attorney about. And if your attorney, isn't with that idea and you still want to do it, you have the right to do it. The complaints are online. Just Google it and you can find the complaints, print them out or fill them out online.
Amber,
Yeah.
before we hang up, can you tell Vince how, and correct me if I'm wrong, they've allowed your children to stay with you while they're looking for placement, correct?
Yeah, we have court October 6th.
Wait a
They're
minute.
planning on removing them again.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm sorry for chuckling, but that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I know, right? Everyone's a massive conflict. Everybody knows.
Listen, I'm not a lawyer in Missouri, all right? My father's family is from Missouri, but I'm not a lawyer from Missouri. I'm licensed here in California. And if you're a danger to your children or a risk to their children, they shouldn't be placing them with you at any time. That's just my opinion. And, looking at it from a California legal point of view, if you were in California, that's what I would say. Maybe Missouri has some kind of, strange law where they can place children with you while they look for a foster home. I don't think that would be...
Most of them are on drugs.
I don't think it would be consistent with the federal scheme. But listen, talk to your attorney, file those complaints, talk to them about filing those complaints. Give us an update in 3 or 4 weeks. I want to thank you for calling and thank you for listening.
Thanks.
All righty. We're going to take another break right now. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be back with more questions and stories from the audience from all over the country.